welcome to the first Fantasy Week in Review. In this, I bring you the analysis of last week's matchups, kind of take a look at what's going to happen for this week, and also do my misplay of the week, where I analyze who you sat, who you should have started, and if the guy you should have started was even a viable starter. I'm not going to grill you if you don't start Latavius Murray over Le'Veon Bell or something like that, because Le'Veon didn't score as much as Latavius Murray. The first matchup we had for last week was Bout That Action performing the sweep of the Hitmen for the season. In terms of the Hitmen, after their blockbuster trade a few weeks ago, they were hoping that the new talent would translate to wins. Unfortunately for them, that hasn't happened, and with two of their biggest names on the bench this week due to bye, they fall to 1-11. On the flip side, Bout That Action rode 4 20-point scores this week to push their win streak to 5. Now, that's not to say the team is on too huge of a hot streak right now, because according to the breakdown, their matchups have been somewhat suspect over the last couple weeks, being middle of the pack in 3 of the 5. We had Pocket Rocket versus Always Late to Cromartie. Pocket Rocket is meshing at the right time after landing 2 superstars in a mid-season trade. LaShawn McCoy and Rob Gronkowski have helped tremendously over the last few weeks. The team only received more good fortune with the solid return of ex-suspended Josh Gordon. Pocket Rocket has now won 5 straight and is only getting stronger as we get closer to the playoffs. For Always Late to Cromartie, last week they were publicly criticized for bad quarterback decisions, and they once again made a small mistake starting Matt Stafford this week. The loss stings more with only 2 weeks left and the playoffs looking even further out of reach now. Slap and Pickle versus Publix Crab Special. Slap and Pickle finally rebounds thanks to their defense. Michael called out his running backs this week and all of them posted solid numbers. However, the credit for breaking his 2-game losing streak goes to Blake Bortles and the Giants secondary. But Slap and Pickle wasn't the only team to break a streak in this game, and Publix Crab Special takes a close loss in a potential playoff preview. The team once somewhat underachieved this week and now must fight harder to get to the Final Four. Drew Brees just not enough to play spoiler. PY Can't Handle Me hangs on in a tight game to stay alive in an extremely close playoff race. Odell Beckham literally reaches back with one hand and saves the season. PY lives on and hopes the talented rookie keeps up his play. Continuing a disappointing season for a team that had such promise early on, turned down for what finally starts to see Semisonic's Closing Time creep up on his iPod playlist. The party's winding down, and one can only imagine what would have happened if Jonas Gray had turned down and not overslept Friday, and if LeGarrette Blount turned down at all and was still in Pittsburgh. Donde Esta La Biblioteca moves to 7-5 and closer to the playoffs after defeating the Sandusky's. The Sandusky's made this week's misplay of the week and started Jags rookie Blake Bortles over the ageless wonder Tom Brady. And it cost them big as they lose by just over 7 points. A win would have put them in a good position to make the Final Four, and they still have a shot, but they now sit 2 games behind the top 3. Donde made the dreaded fantasy error of playing an inactive player this week, but Steven Jackson emerged from the shadows much like the Dark Knight and scored a rare TD to move Donde into the thick of the playoff hunt. Now we'll look ahead to next week, where we have 2 huge matchups in terms of the Final Four. We have Bout That Action, who's 8-4, playing Pocket Rocket, who's 9-3. This is essentially a battle for first, and if both teams keep it up, a playoff preview. Turn Down for What plays Always Late to Cromartie. Always Late to Cromartie can keep small playoff hopes alive with the win this week, but now Turn Down for What's just looking to play spoiler and keep their party going. Slap and Pickle, 8-4, is playing PY Can't Handle Me, 6-6. Slap and Pickle can end PY's season while solidifying his own with a victory this week, He's just got to hope his young, stable running back keeps up their solid play. Donde está la biblioteca 7-5 plays Publix Crab Special, who was also 7-5. Easily this could be a win and in situation, and is the biggest game of the week. The winner puts themselves in a great spot to make the Final Four, while the loser would have to crawl and scratch and hope for some help to get in. In our last game of the week, we have the Sandusky's 6-6 versus the Hitmen, who are 1-11. The Sandusky's are still in the playoff mix, but the Hitmen would love to play spoiler to any playoff thoughts. One big Calvin Benjamin game and we could be talking about the 2-11 Hitmen, and next season looks a lot brighter. Well, in any regards, best of luck to everyone this week, and I wish you all a happy holiday. If you guys like this at all, and like my shitty interpretation of an ESPN analysis for your teams, and would like me to continue, just let me know. High praise is what I thrive on. And if you have any suggestions for any other little skits, such as the Fantasy Misplay of the Week, send them here. I love fucking around and doing shit like this when I got free time, so just let me know, guys.